Hello and welcome or welcome back to you, my cosmic dragon friends. We are back with another pick a card love reading. We have 3 piles to choose from, 1, 2 and 3, and we have 3 decks of cards and 3 crystal bracelets to pick from as well. So if you know the drill, timestamps are in the description below and you can jump on forwards. If you're a bit newer here, then we'll just go through what we've got here to help you choose. So, pile 1, I have the Dragon Tarot, which is artwork by Anne Stokes, and this gorgeous crystal. These are all real crystals, by the way. Crystal bracelet. So we have rose quartz, we have hematite. I think this is obsidian, and then we have trying to remember what this darker pink crystal is. Rhodonite, I think. Okay. Moving on. Our second pile. This is actually a holographic tarot. It's a regular tarot deck, but the cards are holographic like that. So it's a regular Rider-Waite. And then this crystal bracelet is white howlite, amethyst, black obsidian, or could be tourmaline, I forget, hematite, and there's another crystal, there's rose quartz in there as well. So that's a lovely one. That's a very, very nice one. That's very beautiful and energy clearing, this one. Very protective energy in both of these first two with the black crystals and the hematite. But there's also the love of the pink crystals here and the balance of the purple crystals there. So our third part is the Lisa Parker Tarot Familiars deck, which is her artwork, which is absolutely beautiful. And then this bracelet is actually a fertility bracelet. We have rose quartz, unakite, red jasper and red carnelian. So take a moment, see which deck resonates to you, and then you can go to the timestamp in the description below. Bedford's just jumped off his chair. He may well be making an appearance. Bedford is the cat if you're new here, and he's just eyeing up his tuna, so if you hear slurping, that's not me, promise. So, see which one resonates for you. There's no wrong answer here, and if you start to watch one pile and it doesn't feel like it's for you, you can always jump to another pile, or you can watch 2 or all 3 of them, because there might be a few messages for you in all the piles. So I'll see you in your reading. So hello, my pile 1. You've chosen the Dragon Tarot with Anne Stokes artwork and this gorgeous protective love bracelet here. So there's a lot of protection with this one. It feels like protection is needed for your relationship, for your love life, or if you're not with your person already, perhaps you're in separation, maybe you've split up. Or maybe you've never actually been together and it's something that you would like to be with this person. A lot of protection is needed, I feel, here. So it could be that one of you has an ex or a current partner who's a bit nutty or who would cause problems for you. And it feels like Spirit is trying to protect you. Also, if this person has already turned you down, we've got to remember that protection, rejection is divine protection. That's the saying, isn't it? And sometimes that's very much the case. You're being protected from something or someone, and that could be them. It could literally be them. And I really like this little bead here, this silver bead, well, silver colour bead, it's not real silver, on this particular bracelet. And it reminds me of mala beads, where you get the one bead that represents the Buddha. So there's almost a sacred element here with the Buddha energy coming through. So maybe one of you is a Buddhist, or you practice Zen, or some sort of meditation there. That's possible. Also, I want to say there's a very sacred element to this relationship. It's a very sacred soulmate relationship, regardless of whether you are currently together, have been together, or will technically be a couple at any point in the future. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your meeting was fated. You were supposed to meet each other. You were supposed to change each other in some way. And there was supposed to be a meeting of minds and hearts on some level, regardless of whether you actually end up together or not, or have a relationship, you know, a romantic relationship or not. It could be one that just stays a friendship, because there's a lot of very pale rose quartz here, which is very beautiful. It's a very gentle, protective energy as well. One of you could be a Libra, with the rhodonite here. That's a gorgeous stone that resonates very strongly with Libra and with balance. And it's a very balanced bracelet if we look at it. It's very even on both sides. So you notice I've been holding it like this. It's probably the Libra in me that wants everything to be beautiful and balanced and perfect. So there is a beautiful balance here. I feel like you complement each other extremely well. And in a relationship, you do complement each other. It could even be an opposites attract situation, but it's a very beautiful one. So you could be like a Leo-Libra combination, where you're very different, but very, very, very well suited, because there's that perfect complementary energy between you, but it's very protective at the sides here. Very protective, and the protective beads actually outnumber the love and connection and friendship beads here. So I would say there could have been a lot of opposition, or there would be a lot of opposition to this relationship if you've not got together yet. Like I said, there could be other people involved. There could be love triangles, exes, ex-wives, husbands, current partners who are very jealous. It might be very difficult for them to leave someone to be with you, for example. And that's not to excuse anyone's behaviour if they've been stringing you along, absolutely not. But I feel this person just can't resist you. They really can't resist you. You are just the yin to their yang, and they just can't resist you. And it doesn't matter whether you're the masculine energy or the feminine energy, and we all have a balance of masculine and feminine, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We all do. We all carry it. And Bedford's just very clumsily got up onto the windowsill and knocked some boxes over. But he recovered, so it's all right. Nothing went on the floor. We're all right. So there could be some mishaps. Careful, please, Bedford. I've got a tablecloth on the table today. Here he comes. Here comes Bedford. You can just about see his paws. Bedford, what are you doing? Are you here to help or to create mayhem? He says, well, mayhem, of course. That's my MO here. I don't come to help. I come to hinder. Thanks, Bedford. Good boy. Good boy. Now, you are honoured because Bedford does not always jump in on every reading. He does it for some of them, but not for all. You want a kiss? But certainly not for all of them. So you're very honoured that the cat energy has come in here. So there could be a reason for that. You or they could be a cat lover, or there could be a connection to cats. Oh, Bedford really likes these beads. He's rubbing his face on them. Just rubbed his teeth on me, which is lovely. Now I have cat saliva on my finger. Thanks, Bedford. I don't want to look at the bottom. I'm glad that's not on camera. Bedford, really? Okay, so let's dive on in with some cards. And the sun's just come out as well. Wow, I really feel like you could be the sun in this person's life. You could really brighten their life up, really make it special for them. Yeah, you could be someone very, very special to this person, even if you're not together or if you're not together anymore. So, and I do feel for a large portion of you, this is one where you're separated or you've never quite made it into a relationship together, and it's quite a sad feeling. It's almost wistful, but it's very, very beautiful energy. Or maybe it's an affair, no judgment here. Maybe it's an affair. So 8 of Pentacles, yes. Judgment, the Star, the Devil, yes, there it is. Right, let's move these up here a bit. Try to avoid Bedford's bottom. Thanks, Bedford. Really helpful. And then we have the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, 9 of Pentacles, and the Empress. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to have to pull the curtain because I'm being blinded by the light. That could be a connection for you, those words. Or isn't there a song? Blinded by the light? Blinded by the light, something like that. Don't sing, Helen. You'll break the windows. Let's just move these cards up a little bit. If you hear tiny velociraptor noises, that's my 10-week-old baby in the next room. She's hanging out in her bouncer, so she may have something to add to the reading. Okay. Right. Yeah. It's interesting because it's almost like your souls fit so perfectly together. They really, really do. You inspire this person and you're such a temptation, which makes me feel like they're with someone else, or there's someone else in the way, or there's some reason you can't be together, or maybe the beginning of the relationship was difficult if you are an item. Like there's opposition here. There are people opposed to it, or reasons why people would be judgmental about your union, which is very sad because it's a very powerful, very beautiful connection here. Very beautiful. And this person wants to do right by you, whatever your circumstances are. They genuinely want to do right by you. They always want to do the right thing. This is somebody who does have a high moral standard, moral compass. They want to do things the right way. They want to do them in a traditional way as well. They're quite traditional, so they could be a member of a religion, a mainstream religion. Thanks, Bedford. Yeah, get some hair all over the table. Really helpful. But the connection's very, very strong. There's love here. It's powerful. You inspire this person. I feel like you are the person they want to be with, even if they're not. And that you would bring an energy of real perfection to them. It's possible you work together as well, because I'm looking at the Two Pentacles cards and I'm feeling like you would improve their financial situation in some way. So maybe you would bring money, or maybe you work together. You would be very, or perhaps you already are, a powerful asset to them, shall we say, a real asset. And there is a possibility that there's going to be a new beginning for you two with the Ace of Cups here. I mean, it's a powerful connection. It's a love connection. And I feel like there's a new beginning coming. So whether it's a rekindling of your romance or actually coming together finally, but doing it the right way, in a traditional way. So it could be moving to the next level. It could be a proposal. It could be a marriage, especially with the Hierophant here who likes to, you know, do things, follow the dogma, shall we say. I feel this is someone who believes in marriage. For many of you, this is someone who believes in the traditional way of doing things in relationships. They would want to marry you if they're not already married to you. Okay, or if they were in the past, they might want to marry you again. That's an unusual message. I don't normally get that one. So that's a very interesting one. If you hear some clicking, Bedford's going out of his cat flap. Off he goes. We have the Empress there, so I really feel like you are their perfect man or woman. But you are perfection, but you also, there's a very sensual energy here as well, very sensual, very, they're very attracted to you physically. Very attracted to you physically. And if they're holding back, it's not because they're not attracted to you. So if you've been worried about why they're holding back, you know, did they not find me attractive? Oh, they do. They absolutely do. Don't you worry about that. I'm just going to turn the camera so it's a bit more straight on. That was annoying me. There we go. Yeah, they're absolutely very, very physically attracted to you. If you do have an intimate relationship, then they enjoy that intimacy very much. It could be, you know, the best they've ever experienced, shall we say, depending on what's relevant to you. Obviously, take the messages as they resonate, as they make sense to you. Not every message is for every person. Yeah, very, very beautiful. There's a connection about communication here as well with the two of you. I feel like you, on some level, you help this person to communicate. So whether it's that you give them the courage to speak up, or you speak up for them, maybe you encourage them to go on tour and do public speaking or something. But there's certainly a connection here when it comes to communication, I want to say, to the throat chakra. Maybe you've helped them to be better at communicating. Maybe they were very bad at it before and you help them to open up, to speak their truth. And maybe they're more open with you than they are with anybody else. I feel like they have conversations with you that they couldn't have with anybody else because it wouldn't work. They wouldn't feel comfortable having them. They're able to tell you things and open up to you in ways that they can't with other people, or wouldn't have been able to, particularly previous romantic partners. There could be quite a negative present or previous romantic partner here. So if they're still with somebody else, I feel there could be a soulmate who's holding them back, shall we say, dragging them down. I'm getting the words an earthbound spirit. So it feels like the person, if they're with somebody else right now, or if it's their ex, there's somebody who's an earthbound spirit who is a very low vibrational person. And that's no disrespect to them. That's just who they are. That's just what their soul has chosen to experience in this lifetime. But it would be that they're not very enlightened. They're not very spiritually or enlightened, not psychically aware in the same way that you are. They feel petty. They might suffer from ASPD or something, you know, antisocial personality disorder. They might be rather unpleasant, to be honest with you. It does feel like they've been through the wars, I want to say, in their relationships. They've been in some bad relationships with some people who were not kind to them, people who were unfair, I want to say. There's been a lot of unfairness in previous relationships, and they're done with that now. And I feel like you really inspire them to do better, be better, and they can see that with you things would be different if they're not already with you, and things will be different if that comes to pass. It's very beautiful. There's a Nordic connection here. I feel like some of you may be from Nordic countries, so that's Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, that sort of area of the world. Yeah, Nordic connection. Or you may have ancestry in those places, or you may just be somebody who practices those beliefs, the what are they called, the Nordic tradition. It's gone out of my head. Or maybe you read runes. Maybe I need to get my runes out. I don't know where they are right now because my room upstairs is in disarray because of the baby. So I don't know where any of my stuff is. It's all been packed away. So I'm not sure where my runes are right now. Actually, they might be in a drawer, but we're not doing that. So it could be the Norse. That's it, Norse mythology. One or both of you could be interested in Norse mythology. That could be something that's quite important to you. I get the name Loki, the trickster god, coming through quite strongly, so that could be a connection for some people watching here. But certainly, it's a difficult one because it feels like he could be a he for some people. They want to do everything the right way, but the two of you also want to rush a little bit. You also want to do things the wrong way, if that makes sense. For the right reasons. You know, the devil energy is very difficult. It's very tempting to do the wrong thing for the right reasons, or for what you think are the right reasons at the time. But there is caution here. You are being told, no, you should do things the right way. If it's an affair, you should wait and try and do things the right way. That's just the words I'm getting. I mean, it's up to you what you do. I'm not going to tell anybody how to conduct their life because that's not my place. I just channel the messages from spirit, and that's just their opinion, just their advice. Again, they're not judging you. You are allowed to have an affair if that's what works for you. That's not for me to say. So, yeah. There's a conversation that needs to be had, I feel, so that you can move to the next stage in this relationship. And I feel like they want to have it with you and they want to have it soon. I'd say in the next 2 months, they want to have a deep conversation with you about where this relationship goes next. So that could be literally taking the first step or moving to the next level. Or even getting back in contact if you've been apart from each other for some time. So some really beautiful, very interesting cards here, very beautiful energy as well. So let's get some more information here. Let's get some more messages. See what we've got for my lovely pole ones. Twin flames. Wow. Yes, I said this was a special. Look at that yin-yang balance. I said it was a special connection. The butterfly. The golden mirror. Separation. So yeah, some of you are definitely separated. You've either split up or you're not with each other right now. Self-indulgence, partying, old school. They are a bit old school. And cut down. Okay, separation again. So the cut down card says cutting out, separation, stop the pattern and silent treatment. So yeah, for quite a few people watching here, I feel this is a separation reading. This is somebody that you're not currently with or maybe have never been with. And yet you can't completely turn away from the energy. Yeah. And with the butterfly, there is a need to move on to the next phase of the relationship, like I was saying, to let go of how things were, let go of this stuck energy. And then the self-indulgence card with these lovely candles on talks about healing and shadow work and self-appreciation. So it's self-indulgence, but in a good way, I think, this card. Because self-indulgence can sound quite negative, can't it, and quite selfish. But this is about being selfish in a good way. So some of the advice here is to put yourself first and do any healing work that you need to do. So whether that's working with a therapist, having a Reiki session, you know, some spiritual healing, getting a massage. Maybe you actually need to go to the doctor and you've been putting it off. Or maybe you just need to talk to somebody to get some things off your chest. Whatever your shadow work is, I've been doing quite a bit of shadow work the past few years, which is fascinating. And it's very interesting, and it's not always the moment to do shadow work. It comes up when it's the moment for you to do it. So I'm not going to not going to say go and do your shadow work, because it might not be the moment for you to do that. We go into the dark when we're meant to go into the dark, and not before. Otherwise, it can be a little bit too much, or we could end up getting stuck in the darker energy. So, yes, telling you to have a good time, look after yourself, self-indulgence and partying. I want to say, spend some time having fun, seeing friends, doing things that make you happy, that light you up, because I feel like this person will see that. It will light you up in the ether, and they will see it even if you're not together. They will notice, and they will want to spend more time with you. I feel like it will draw them in like a moth to the flame, so to speak, because they are very old school, and that could be causing some serious obstacles in your relationship for some of you. There's definitely some patterns that need to be changed, and it could be that they are a bit too old school. Maybe they decided to stay in an unhappy marriage and not be with you, and that's very frustrating energy. And certainly there is a pattern that they need to heal, that they need to stop. And it could be that they're actually with someone with some narcissistic tendencies with the golden mirror here. I mean, it might be that they're a bit narcissistic themselves. So that's a very specific message for just a few people here. I don't feel that's the case for most of the people I'm talking to here. I feel like it may be their other person. If there's a third person involved, I feel there's a very toxic third person involved here, whether it's their person or, you know, their ex or their current partner or yours. There's a toxic person who's a real freaking problem. They're a real problem. And that's not nice to have to deal with. So, yeah, beware. So, again, rejection may be divine protection right now. Let me get some more cards. I'm having to shuffle these off camera because some of the pictures are not YouTube friendly. They have nudie people in them. So this is a mini version of a larger deck that I have, and after I bought it I realized there were typos and it was probably a knockoff, a fake version. So I immediately went to a better website, and actually I bought these from Amazon, so you'd think they'd be legit, wouldn't you? But they're not. Not all of the cards on Amazon are legit, or eBay, so you've got to be very careful. And I make a rule: if I buy a deck that is a fake of a real one, I will make sure I buy the real one as well, so that the author gets paid. So although I have this deck, which is a small version of one by Tony Carmine Salerno, it's the Love Oracle, when I realised this was a fake, I immediately went out and bought the genuine one, which is actually much bigger. But I do like using this one as well because it's very small and handy, and it's easy to shuffle, and the nice dinky little cards. But you will have to excuse the typos because obviously this is a Chinese knockoff. So, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Sacred union. Yes, I keep saying it. I keep saying this is a very special connection. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. Yes, that's what we were saying down here with the self-indulgence and the partying cards. I want to put this card down here because it goes with these two here. These three all go together. Look after yourself right now. I feel it's the time to prioritize you, and then your person will catch up. Okay, you kind of need to give them a little bit of space and time to catch up with you, to do their healing, to step away from anything that's toxic or negative in their life. Could be habits, it could be people, could be addictions, you know, it could be something toxic in the workplace, but there's certainly some work that they need to do to catch up with you, pile one. So let's get some messages from your person. These are my message cards that I created for you. So let's have a look. I originally did these on blue and pink card, and then I did another deck on white card. I don't know why I have two versions of this, but I do now. So there we go. I think the other ones were a bit, some of the handwriting was a bit untidy. I wanted to redo them. Because when I'm channeling, my handwriting is not good. It's just like, oh. So here we go. You fascinate me. Card 0. Oh, wow, there's unlimited potential here. And with 0, I want to talk about the mirror as well. I feel like you mirror each other. You mirror each other. In numerology, sometimes we talk about 0 being like a mirror. And you are very much a mirror of other people's energy and of each other's energy as well. So pay attention to what this person is mirroring back to you. What are they teaching you? Please love me back on 29. Wow. This person feels quite uncertain. Maybe they don't know how much you care about them. I think you're my soulmate, twin flame. So there's some confirmation there that this is a very important soulmate or twin flame connection. I'm not going to put a name or a label on it. I'm going to leave that for you. But this is an important connection regardless of how it looks. I want you back. Okay, so if you're in separation, they may want to start again. I'm struggling with my feelings. Yes, they are, and they're having to do a lot of contemplating and thinking about it with number 23 here as well, 23-5. They're very much up in their head. Interesting that we've got a 5 next to the 23. Because 23 in numerology reduces to 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. So 5 being the mind. And 23 being the Icarus mind. So we have the higher mind and the lower mind working together, possibly in conflict with each other as well here. So it could be that their soul, their higher self and spiritual aspect of self knows that you're supposed to be together, really wants you. But their lower self doesn't really know what to make of it, doesn't know what to do with it. So you hurt me. So for some of you, there's pain here. Maybe you did hurt them. Maybe you haven't clocked that you hurt them. So there's some hurt feelings here. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that the feelings are difficult for this person. Very, very tricky, very difficult. Why did we break up? So for those of you that are not together, this person's hurting. And I want you but ... Yeah, so fill in the blank depending on your circumstances. There's definitely obstacles to this connection. It's a difficult one. It's a tricky one. It's not easy, but it is very powerful, and I feel like it would be worth it. Okay, so let's have a look at some number tiles. Let's do some zodiac signs and charms to get a few more messages, get names and a bit of confirmation there for you. We're going to do that next. So let me get a little plate to put them on. I'm leaning behind me where my dresser is, and I have all my retro my bone china up here. So let's get one of my little bone china plates. I was hoping to get one that was less dusty than that. Okay, I'll do. My bone china. This is Salisbury bone china. Isn't that cute? I love this. So teacups could be a connection for you, or tea might be a connection for you. This one's Royal Sutherland. Let's put my teacup over here. Let's just keep that on the table. I rather like that. All right. So what do we have here? Let's get the zodiac signs to start with. So these could be in your big 3, in their big 3. So the big 3 being sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign or ascendant. Or it could just be a sign that's been a theme of the relationship or of your synastry, if that's something that you know. Oops. So we have Aries, Aquarius, and Leo. So double Aries. You could both be Aries, or you could both be the same sun sign, for example. Lots of fire here. Lots of fire. So it could be quite a fiery relationship. Okay, so let's get some charms. And then we'll do letter tiles last. I'll move the plate because I can't really put my letter tiles out in the plate. It's not big enough. Right then. What does we got here then? Okay, we have, let's put these over here. Okay, we have a beautiful handbag. Maybe somebody likes designer handbags or designer clothes. We have this gorgeous dragonfly, which is very original. So to me, it speaks of originality. It's a very Aquarian energy, being different, wanting to look different. Maybe they have a very original sense of style. Maybe you do. We have a dragon. So the dragon energy coming in. If you haven't already watched my dragon messages that I did earlier, when there was a thunderstorm, go and watch it now. I will link to that now. Editor Helen in the future will put that in for us. Okay, we have a mermaid. Lovely. We have a shoe. So there's lots of clothing and fashion coming out here, but also etheric beings with the mermaid and the dragon. Oh, a connection to music with the treble clef. Okay, maybe one of you is a musician or plays musical instruments. We have a winged horse. So Pegasus. We have a bat. I'm hearing bat out of hell now. Meatloaf. Maybe one of you likes meatloaf. Maybe one of you eats meatloaf. Okay, so we have a dinosaur. Look, a lovely long-necked dinosaur. We have a hot air balloon. We have the C&D symbol, but in a heart. Maybe one of you is an old hippie. We have a lovely starfish. We have an Om symbol. We have our froggy, our lovely amphibian. We have a rocking horse, my personal favourite. And we have this crazy rabbit, or I like to call this one the March Hare, because it looks like he's got his fists up and he's trying to have a fight with someone. So those are our charms. Let's just put these to one side. Let's get our letter tiles. And I notice I'm doing these in a different order. Normally I go zodiac signs, letters, and charms last. So there's something about the order of things that is different, unusual here, and that could be a message for some people as well. And my fridge just woke up for some reason, so there we go. Okay. Right. Oh, don't drop them. We have O, A, N, K. I want to put oak. Maybe oak trees are a connection. Oaken, oak wood, I, another N, E, L, Nelly could be a name, or maybe one of you likes elephants. Nelly the elephant packed a trunk. V, E, and said goodbye to the circus. C, I, M, maybe somebody is a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. Maybe want to use a marketer. A and P. Let's have the name Nev, Neve. The word knife comes out there as well. Lenny. I want to say Papa or Papa, like somebody calls their father Papa. It's a bit posh, isn't it? Or maybe they're French. Okay. So, other names that come out for me there. Kevin. Oakley. That's sunglasses, isn't it? That's a name of some sunglasses. Expensive ones. Aren't Oakleys for like cyclists or something? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments. I'm sure someone will tell me off if I got that wrong. Live, liver. So these could be names, they could be words or places that connect you. Map, maybe you travel, maybe there's a connection to maps here. Maybe you've travelled together, maybe you need to travel to be with each other. Okay. You have the name Clive, which you can spell out there. Clivinia. So you might want to take a screenshot of that and have a look at the letters, see what else jumps out at you. VA, maybe somebody is ex-military. Okay, so that's what I have for you, my friends, for you pile 1. Please do feel free to go and watch another pile if you're drawn to pile 2 and or pile 3. You can watch all of them if you like. There could be some messages, even if the the whole reading isn't for you, you could still get a message. So I will leave you there. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. You can find my website, enjoyingsholistics.com, linked below, where you will find all my available readings. You'll also find my Neal's Yard aromatherapy shop. Yes, I'm a Neal's Yard rep because I love it. It's great. And I have a baby and I like buying products. So, and I use them on myself. The baby products are great though, I have to say. And it would really help me if you bought your Neal's Yard stuff through my shop. So there we go. So thank you in advance if you do that. It's UK only, I'm afraid. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again soon. In the meantime, please take very, very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye. So hello to you, my pile. 2, you picked the Holographic Tarot and this lovely crystal bracelet, which is actually designed to alleviate anxiety. I think this was one designed for empaths, if I remember rightly, when I bought it. I buy a lot of crystals, what can I say? So we have white howlite, we have, I can't remember if that's black tourmaline or obsidian, but they have kind of similar properties, being black crystals are very protective and they absorb negativity. So we have amethyst, we have hematite, we have rose quartz. Really, really lovely piece, this one. Very balancing, very gentle energy, quite protective as well, but absorbs negativity. So if you're struggling with you know, depression, anxiety, that could be why you've picked this one. Or you could just be very empathic and pick up everyone else's crap, for want of a better word. Pick up everybody else's bad energy and you just don't need it. So let's take a look at your reading. These are quite fun cards to look at. I really enjoy how they're holographic pictures. So, all right, my pile 2s, let's get messages from your person. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's going on here. All right, remember, only take the messages that apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, leave it where it is. It's not your message. Starting to get hot in here now, so that could be relevant. The sun's come out. When I started this reading, it was tipping down with rain. It was very dark outside. We've been having thunderstorms, and now the sun's come out, and I'm boiling hot. So there could be a connection there to the heat in this relationship. So we've got our first 4 cards, which jumped out all by themselves, because clearly Spirit want to talk. They really want to talk. I feel maybe your person wants to talk, or you're the person that wants to talk. There's a need to have a conversation here. So let's just take a look at our cards, see what we have. Page of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords. Okay, not the easiest cards to start with. Maybe that's why conversation needs to be had. Let's just move these up here so you can see them. Move them up nicely. There we go, so they fit in my screen. Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords, wow. 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups, wow. Okay, so right off the bat, for some people, this could be a divorce situation. This could be somebody that you have divorced or are divorcing, is divorcing you. Maybe you've split up, or maybe they've left you to marry somebody else. Very, very painful, because there are these 2 cards, 10 of Swords and 10 of Cups, either side of the 4 of Wands. So it feels almost like one marriage ending for another one to begin. Yeah, oh, it's a difficult energy, regardless of which way around it is. This isn't easy. This isn't an easy situation. There's a lot of exhaustion here. Look at all the 10s. We've got 4 10s here on the table. 10s are all about endings and beginnings. So 10 is where we finish a cycle. It is the end of a cycle, but it's also the beginning of the new one before we take the next step. And in numerology, you have the unlimited potential of the 0 that shows up next to the 1. The 0 is the source of everything. It is the no-thingness. It is the pure potential of Spirit, the pure potential of God. It is the Word. It is what was talked about in the book of Genesis in the Bible. You know, before the world was created, in the beginning, there was the Word. The Word is the 0. That's what that represents. So there is huge potential here for big change. But difficult energies here, fighting. There's, oh goodness, going behind people's backs. So this could be a situation where someone has cheated on you. Maybe you didn't know they were married. Maybe they didn't tell you. Maybe you didn't tell them. This is definitely not a straightforward connection. This is a difficult one. Page of Pentacles. I want to say perhaps you started out as friends. Maybe you never intended to get involved with this person, or maybe they never intended to be serious about you. There's a connection to somebody starting out very casually here, very casually, and things just going a bit wrong. Difficult connection. Okay, so also I have these flowers here that I've put on the table just for your pile. A little bit dusty. These adorable little bone china flowers, roses. So this person could have bought you flowers early on. They could be somebody. They could be a flower buyer. I've been with a flower buyer before. That's quite nice. Not everyone does it. Not everyone buys you flowers, do they? They could be one of those men that complains that no one buys flowers for men until their funeral. In which case I would go straight out to the supermarket and buy them the cheapest bunch I could. So, or have them sent to their workplace, especially if they work somewhere like in construction. They get teased for it. So, silly, isn't it? Big change. But big change is necessary here. Goodness me, it feels like a pivotal time in both of your lives right now. And if that's not the case for you, this might not be the right reading. But there could still be some messages for you here, because there's going to be some very specific threads coming through here on this one, I can tell. There is a need certainly for protection, but there's also a need to heal from anxiety, depression. There's some mental health struggles probably being caused by difficult situations and difficult people. This could be somebody who has led you on a merry dance, and by that I mean maybe they've led you on, said, oh no, I'm going to leave my wife or husband or partner, I'll be with you. Or maybe they didn't tell you about a wife or husband or partner. There have been lies, there have been deceit. There could have been actual physical theft of property here as well for some people. This could be a situation where there has been physical violence as well. And if that's the case, please don't stay. Please do stay safe. Okay, protect yourself. Go to the police if necessary. I want to say there's abuse in this situation as well, or there has been. And that could be you, could be them, or it could be that they've suffered that in the past or you have. But there is the warning that that could repeat itself here. I want to say, so please be very careful. Of course, you know your situation. I don't. That may not be the situation for you here, but that is a message for some people, which is why I'm going to say it. Okay, so if it's not for you, don't freak out. Don't come for me in the comments. It's just not your message. Okay. Wow. This is a difficult person. This person could actually be incarcerated as well, or they could be somebody with a criminal history. Or perhaps you could. I feel it's more likely them. But for some people, they could be incarcerated. I have had clients come to me in the past who were in relationships with people who were incarcerated, which was a bit of a surprise for me because I'd never considered that. And of course, that's something that happens, isn't it? You know, it's very unfortunate. We all have different lives and things happen to us and we make choices. I feel like this person doesn't make good choices, but it's possible that you don't make the best choices either. And by that, I don't mean anything mean. I just mean that maybe you make bad choices in relationships. You could be somebody who feels like they're very unlucky in love, or they could. There's certainly that sense here. And that's not necessarily your fault. You know, you may have had a terrible upbringing and you're just not very good at picking relationships, and it can be very difficult for us, and I speak from personal experience there. We can end up with terrible partners just because we don't know what healthy relationships are supposed to look like, and no one ever taught us how to do that. Okay, so it does feel like there is a karmic element here, though, so there's definitely a karmic connection. There's a past life connection with this person, absolutely. And I feel like both of you, or at least one of you, but I would say both of you for most people, sensed it, felt it when you first met each other. There's this connection. There was an instant friendship, an instant ease of communication between the two of you. Maybe you actually met at somebody else's wedding. Maybe you met at their wedding or yours. Oh goodness. There's so much drama in these cards. I feel like this could be a situation where there's a lot of drama, or maybe one of you creates drama, or there's someone around you that creates a lot of drama. because it sucks. It really does. The drama I get coming through here is just so annoying. Annoying for you, not for me. Obviously, I'm just reading energy. Oh, it's stressful. It's drama. It's difficulty. It's fighting. Maybe their family are very difficult as well, because I feel like other people meddling in your life, in your relationships that you could really do without, you know. And they may have the best intentions. They may genuinely be trying to help, but they're not helping, and they need to butt out. They really do, because I feel like you need a shift, you need a change, you need your positive outcome. Because it feels like this whole situation could actually be on a knife edge. It could be like, it could go really one way or the other. And I'm looking at these 3 cards at the bottom here, so it feels like the wheel needs to turn. So which way is it going to go? Is this really serious relationship going to end, or is it going to come to its final culmination of being very happy and fulfilled together? One way or the other, it has to happen. We have to get to 10. And number 10 could be quite significant as well. It could be a birthday, or it could be a date that's quite important, or a month, for example. Month of October could be significant in your connection. This is very difficult, very stressful to read, actually, when I'm looking at these cards. And I'm having to take a sip of my drink because it's leaving me parched looking at this. So I feel like the throat chakra flagging up here, communication flagging up. The words I want to say are, a lot has been said, but not a lot has been heard. So I feel like you may have said a lot of things to this person, you may have tried to express a lot of things to this person, but either they don't hear it, or they don't understand it, or a lot of things have been said, but very little has actually been communicated. And again, you get that in families where there's a lot of drama. People say a lot of things that don't mean very much. They just talk, and it's just word salad. It's just a bunch of words that don't really mean very much. And you sit there just feeling drained and discombobulated after this verbal assault that didn't actually achieve anything. There's a connection to the circus here for somebody as well. It does feel like a circus. Maybe you have actually said the words about their family, not my circus, not my monkeys. Is that it? Not my monkeys, not my circus? Yeah, or there could be an actual connection to the circus, or circus performing. I'm seeing those classes you can take where you, what's it called, aerial performers, where they use like those ribbons that hang from the ceiling, or like ropes, and they do like acrobatics. I'm drawn to that for somebody, like aerial yoga, that kind of thing. It's very physically challenging, but it looks really cool. Must be a fun thing to do. Yeah. Big differences as well with you and your person here. There are very big differences, almost like it is opposites attract, but it also brings a lot of difficulty with it, this connection. So even if you were to be together, I feel like, and you may be together, I feel like there's always going to be conflict because you're so different, and it is difficult to communicate because you're always talking at cross purposes. Maybe you literally speak different languages. That could be the issue here. Maybe you're from different cultures that are very different, and maybe they're Italian or something, and they just get very het up about things, and they start shouting and screaming, and they think that's normal and okay, and it just freaks you out, you know. I would not be okay with that. I don't like drama. I'm a Libra. We don't do drama. Unless we're creating it, that's different. But when we create it, it's fine. But we do it in a very calm way. We're very cool with it. It's a tricky situation. I'm hearing about the walls of a town, the town walls, the village walls here as well. I'm very drawn to the walls here that I'm looking at around this castle. So it could be that you live in a walled city, a walled town. So that could be in an older country, like a European country, for example. I'm drawn to places like Carcassonne in France, Wareham in the UK. I've got Hadrian's Wall coming up in my mind as well. So there's a connection, something about walls here. That could be metaphorical, but it could be literal for some people. Yeah, take that particular one only if it resonates for you. That's a very specific message for some people here about walls. I'm seeing Corfe Castle in my mind as well, the walls there around the castle, which are actually leaning quite badly. If you've ever been there, they lean. I'm a National Trust member, so I go quite frequently. Well worth a visit if you can. Very interesting place. Very dark place as well. And you'd think a castle, oh, it's going to be wonderful and beautiful. And actually, no, the people who lived there were horrible, terrible people. They had something called an oubliette. Okay. And if you don't know what that is, it's horrible. It's basically a dungeon that people would be thrown into and never get out of, and just be left there to die, to starve to death. It's the most horrific thing you can imagine, just being thrown. Oubliette meaning, from the French, oublier, meaning to forget. So like the forgetting hole, so just being thrown in this hole to be forgotten and left to die. And people would hear the cries of these people dying, begging to be let out, and obviously that wasn't going to happen. Terrible, terrible people. Terrible people. Yeah, that particular castle has a very dark history, as many of them do. Which is ironic, because we look at castles and think how beautiful we are. We are. maybe we think that. Maybe you do look at a castle and think, yeah, I'm pretty stunning myself. Maybe they're a bit of a narcissist. Okay, but we're told these fairy stories about wonderful kings and queens and princes and princesses who live in castles, and it is, for the most part, a lot of it's untruth. A lot of them were terrible people who killed each other, who killed off their family. Just have a look at history, killing off family members that they considered to be rivals, even when they were children or infants. They weren't very friendly people. The royals and the nobility of past and of present, they're just more discreet about it now when they knock people off. Diana. Oh, did I say that out loud? And I just saw 50-50 on the clock, and I thought, yeah. The reason I'm saying that is 50 numerologically is a very interesting number. Obviously, it's halfway to 100, and it is a number where we reach a certain wisdom, stoicism. It's very interesting, where we can look back on things and see things more clearly. But I kind of get the 50-50 energy here. It's like, maybe this person's trying to decide between you and another person. And there's this kind of 50-50 toss up, and you don't know which way it's going to go right now. Or maybe you're the one making a choice, or maybe you both are. And it's so, this energy is so freaking unstable. It's almost painful to look at. It's painful, it's difficult. I feel the pain, I feel the suffering. And if that's your pain and suffering, I'm really sorry, because I've been there and it's horrible. It's horrible. And we'll see what the cards have, see what advice we have for you here, because this can't stay as it is. Something has to give, something has to change, and we'll find out what it is soon enough. It's going to go one way or another. It's either going to go really well or really badly. And I feel like for you two, it can't possibly be anywhere in the middle. It has to be one extreme or the other. It's either like you're going to be best friends or worst enemies. You're either going to be lovers or enemies, haters. Okay. It's that kind of connection. It's high energy, it's high vibration, it's low vibration, it's emotions running high, it's that kind of craziness. Might make you feel like you're going mad. Yeah, okay, let's get some more messages. Heartbroken, yes. Passion. You see the healthy choices. See the disparity there between the two cards, the contradiction between heartbroken and passion. Healthy choices, engagement ring. Yeah, above. Yeah. Backstabbing. This is so painful. There's the energy of Hades and Persephone coming through here now. Hades, of course, tricked Persephone. I think he actually kidnapped her and took her to the underworld. And then he tricked her by offering her food, knowing that if she ate it, she would have to stay. But because she only ate 6 pomegranate seeds, I think Zeus decided she only had to stay down there 6 months of the year, and she could come up for the other 6. Love. The snake. Oh, goodness. And not enough. There's so much difficulty, so much drama here. See, on the one hand, there's love and there's engagement ring and there's passion. But there's also heartbroken, backstabbing, snake. Not enough. There's low self-esteem. There's There's frustration, there's difficulty here, there are obstacles. See, the snake is the other woman looking over your shoulder, competition, enemies. Such a difficult situation, but that's not to say that it couldn't turn out well. But it's very important that you make good choices, you make healthy choices, you hold strong boundaries right now. And this person could be about to come to you with an engagement ring. And it's up to you whether you choose to accept it or not, whether you think they're right for you, or if you've decided, actually, I've had enough. I'm not falling for this again. Much as we may have an amazing connection and insane chemistry, this connection isn't healthy for me. You know, that could be your choice. Or it could be that you've been waiting for them to choose you, and that could really have knocked your self-esteem. That could have been very difficult. Yeah, there's a lot of hurt here. There's a lot of grief. It's difficult. It's passionate, but it's dramatic. There's passion and drama, and unfortunately, that's not what you want, is it? You don't want drama. You just want the passion, ideally. But I feel with this person, you can't just have one, you get both. So if you do choose this person, if you do move forwards with this person, if they choose you and you move forwards, just be aware it's always going to be a bit tricky. It's always going to be a bit difficult, but I think you probably already know that. So let's move on to the Love Oracle, Tony Carmine Salerno. Okay. So this is actually a small version of the Love Oracle deck, and I realised when I got it that actually this one's probably not a genuine pack, so I hunted down the genuine one and I bought that as well to make sure that the author gets paid. But I have kept the small pack because it's just really handy, really nice to use. But it does have a bunch of typos because it's clearly a Chinese knockoff. So, balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Well, this one certainly challenges, but we want to see the support as well. Okay. Time. You're trying too hard, give it time. Yes, that's possible. Maybe you're chasing and maybe it's time to just chill out and let them miss you. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Well, that's nice because there's certainly turmoil here. Let's find out what the blessings are. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. So yes, there's a strong message here to get on with your manifesting work and make sure that you're focusing on what it is that you want, what it is that you want to create, that you are manifesting the life that you want, not just prolonging the agony and prolonging a situation that you don't want by focusing on it. So it might be time to do some manifesting. If you need some help with that, you can read my book about manifesting, which is called Dream Bigger, How the Law of Attraction Really Works, and the link is in the description below. It's available from Amazon internationally. So you can also get the PDF download from my website if you'd rather not use Amazon or if it's not available in your region. So let's get some messages from your person. These are the little message cards that I've written up for you here. What do they have to say? I can't take my eyes off you. So they obviously find you very attractive regardless of what's going on. I want you. Yeah, well, I knew there was passion. You fascinate me. Yeah, you're a bit different. You're not what they're used to. I want you back. So if you split up, there's a desire to get back with you. I want to be alone with you. There's that passion again. They definitely want something. I love you. Oh, wow. So there's the confirmation that this person really cares about you. They do love you regardless of what's happening. It's just not an easy situation. You complete me. Now the danger here is that they rely on you, or that they drain you energetically, and that's not healthy. So I want you to be aware of holding your boundaries here. I'll do. My heart can't take this. Yeah, it's the drama again. It could be too much. They could be going through a divorce or needing to go through a divorce, and it's just too much for them. I miss you so much. Yeah. So if they're not with you right now, they're missing you. And if you are taking a break for them, like I said, maybe it's time to take a break so that they do miss you a little bit more, just to make them realise your worth. So let's get some letter tiles now. Let's have a little look. I'm going to clear these away. Actually, let's pop these cards away so that we can get my letter tiles out without it being too untidy on the table. Otherwise you can't focus properly on them. So we've got letter tiles, we've got zodiac signs to do, and we've also got our charms, which have a few letter tiles and zodiac signs in them as well. So a bit of everything there. There we go. Lovely stuff. So let's get our Scrabble tiles. Oh, that's quite a lot. No, you can't all come out. That's ridiculous. Right. W, P, A. Is somebody your PA? Are you someone's PA? O. Are they called Paola? L, I. R. N, Irina. O, Arnold. I, William. So I'm just saying names that jump out at me, or words that jump out at me. So it could be names, it could be places, words that connect to you both. You, I, could be initials as well. R. Someone could have a urinary tract infection, or they could be a urologist. Q. Okay. For some reason I heard someone could be cute, which is weird because that's not how you spell cute with a Q, but there you go. T. Another TT. Someone could drive an Audi TT or participate in TTs. H. E. I'm going to take one more letter tile. It's a D. Head. Somebody could be a head teacher. Somebody could be the head of something. Somebody could work for the RNNI, which is the Royal Lifeboats. It's actually a charity here, would you believe? We rely on a charity to run our lifeboats in this country because we're logical like that. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Okay. Akira, somebody could like manga, anime. Read, somebody could enjoy reading or be called Read, or I was going to say red. Yeah, red. Might like the colour red. I'm using my tablecloth at the moment because I'm on my kitchen table. So you can't see the terrible wooden surface under there, which really needs stripping and revarnishing. Somebody could work in a legal profession. I'm looking at the word writ and courts. Someone who could have had to go to court recently. Interesting. So you might want to take a screenshot of that and have a look at it later to see what you can see there that's relevant to you personally. So let's get some charms. Oh, got a lot of money coming out here. We've got a Chinese coin. It's not a real one. It's a feng shui one. This is a real coin. This is a real penny from 1894. So it's one real penny from the Victorian era. It's a Victorian penny and it is real. This was actually recovered from a shipwreck off the Cornwall coast. So, which is why it's very, very worn. We have a little heart with what looks like a puppy dog paw on there, a dog's paw. So somebody could be a dog mum or a dog lover. We have an anchor. Again, there could be a connection to the sea. I mean, this was recovered from the sea, from a shipwreck. With butterfly, we have the letter Y to add to these. We have the Hamza, the hand of Fatima. We have a castle, like a fairy tale castle, very cute, and there's a heart there. There could be connection there. We have this gecko. We have the pentacle. Pagan energy coming through, very mystical energy coming through here with these, I have to say. We have a hanger. Maybe somebody likes clothes and fashion. And we have, no it isn't, don't be rude, they're acorns. We have a pair of acorns. Stop it, you with the dirty mind. Okay, they look like some other things that we're not going to mention, but they are acorns, so a pair of acorns. Maybe there's a lot of potential, or maybe there's a connection to woods, forests here. So lastly, let's get our zodiac signs. Let's see what connections we have here. So these signs could be in your big three, in their big three, and that means their sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant, or rising sign. Or it could just be a sign that's very influential in one of your charts or in your synastry. So what do we have? Oh. Oh. Interesting. So we have Capricorn, Capricorn, Aquarius, Cancer. So fascinating. So you could both have Capricorn in your charts. You could both be Capricorn suns, for example, or you could both have the same sun sign or the same moon sign, for example. So there's definitely twin energy coming through here, and then there's Aquarius and Cancer as well. So I hope that was helpful, my pile twos. I hope that was enjoyable. Please do leave a comment to let me know what resonated for you. Please do remember to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. Have a look at my links below. You'll find my website, angelwingsholistics.com. And if you're in the UK, you can buy your gorgeous aromatherapy products through my Neal's Yard shop. Yes, I am a Neal's Yard rep because I really like the products. I buy them for my baby daughter and for myself. And it would really help me if you could order yours through my shop. Or see if there's anything you like, because there are some great deals in there right now. So I will leave you there. Please take good care of yourselves, okay? And do of course feel free to watch another pile if pile 1 or pile 3 also resonates. You can of course watch one or both of those because there may be messages there for you too. In the meantime, till I see you again, please take very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye. So hello pile 3, you chose the Lisa Parker Tarot Familiars and the Fertility Crystal Bracelet. Now that doesn't have to be literal, that could be a metaphorical fertility. Maybe it's a fertile time for you in your relationships right now, or maybe you do have a new baby, or maybe you have a baby or children with the person that you're asking about. You may be able to hear my baby in the background. She has the hiccups right now, but she's also enjoying her toys, so you might be able to hear her babbling away. She might have something to say. Babies or children could actually be a connection for you, or maybe you actually want to have a baby. Maybe you've been trying you know, for some time, or maybe that's a point of contention between you and your person there. But either way, it brings through Empress energy for me, which is about fertility in all things, it being a fertile time to create. So it could be a time where you're actually looking to create anew with this person, or in your life you're looking to create things, thinking about the future, sketching out your plans for the future, your 5-year, 10-year plans, or even your plans for the next year. You're manifesting, so there's a strong energy of creating your future coming through here. I'm also very drawn to the Vesica Pisces. That's the symbol that looks like this. 2 symbols like that. 2 circles, 2 interlocking circles with what's represented, represents the birth canal in the middle. Okay. Right, so let's have a look at our tarot cards. Our tarot familiars. Another message for somebody here is this person may have disappointed you. They may not be who they appeared to be at the beginning. They may be a different person to who you thought they were going to be. Maybe they looked good, you know, they talked a good game and you thought they were something that they turned out not to be. And the reason I say that is when I bought these cards, now I love Lisa Parker's artwork, it's absolutely stunning. I was a bit disappointed when I realised that the artwork is only on the court cards and the major arcana. It's not on the minor arcana cards, you know, like the suits, and that was very disappointing for me. Maybe not surprising because she maybe didn't have 78 drawings, 78 paintings to go around. But I was a bit disappointed by that. I felt a bit cheated when I bought them. So maybe you're feeling cheated by your partner. And clearly Spirit want to talk, because here come the cards all by themselves. Wheel of Fortune. Wow, we've just had that card that featured quite prominently in pile 2. And I wanted to say there could be a connection to pile 2 here for some of you, because when I drew the well, when I created the symbol of the Vesica Pisces, I took the bracelet for pile 2 to show you with pile 3. So there could literally be crossover between the two. Empress, what was I saying? Empress energy coming through very strongly for you guys. So a bit of confirmation there. Our third card is Strength. This is interesting. We're getting all major arcanas so far. The Hanged Man, another major arcana. So these are big themes. There's some big stuff going on in your relationship. Two of Pentacles. The Emperor. King of Wands. And Seven of Cups. And here comes my cat. Hello, Bedford. Hello. Hi, Bedford. He may or may not get on the table. We'll see. He's funny, isn't he? Good boy. Eat your food. He's been fed. Don't believe his lies. Right. Interesting. It's particularly interesting, the Empress, because I've been watching some reels on Instagram where there was a mare adopting a mare. I think she'd lost her foal. She was adopting a foal who'd lost its mother, and it was absolutely adorable. Very, very cute story watching them come together. The mare was absolutely in love with the foal from day one, and the foal needed a little bit of encouragement to connect with the mare and to learn how to suckle from her teats, because he'd only been bottle fed up until that point. Yeah, there was I just feel like there's a connection there. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Maybe you're an equestrian, or one of you works in that world. Maybe one of you's adopted. Yeah, maybe there's that connection there. Okay, a lot of major arcanas here. So we've got 5 major arcanas. We've got a king, and then just 2 of the cards that I was complaining about don't have nice pictures on. Right. Okay, let's have a look. Things need to change. It's time to build something. It's time to be brave, actually. Interesting that we have the Empress and the Emperor here. Look at that. So it does feel like this is a power couple. It's a power coupling here coming through. You are a very powerful match, and when you're together you're very powerful, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. And only you will know if that's the case or not. Only you will know if this person's right for you. I feel like this person may have run you ragged, and it could be time for you to actually be making some choices. And the Seven of Cups is all about choices, decisions, and finding confusion in many choices, or difficult choices and decisions. And again, we have a number 2, and 2s are about choices. They are about polarity. They are about understanding different points of view and considering options. So it does feel like with this one, it could be that you might be considering whether to walk away from this or not. And it could be literally a marriage that you're walking away from. It could be just, you know, a relationship, a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or it could be something that never even got off the ground. But whatever it is, it could be, I feel like you're considering walking away. You're considering whether it's worth your time, whether the potential is actually going to become reality here. Because there is a need here to ask this person. I feel like I want to say piss or get off the pot to them, not to you. I feel like they need to step up to the plate, so to speak. There's a lot of cliches coming through here. Maybe they talk, maybe they use a lot of cliches when they talk. No, Bedford, please don't jump on the table. You're going to get on my lap. Come on then. Here's the cat. Here he is. Hi, here he is, everyone. You're honoured. He doesn't come up for every reading. He was here for pile 1. He was not here for pile 2. Okay. Maybe he is like a cat. He or she. Maybe this person is like a cat. You know, if you chase them, maybe they, you know, they run away. But if you ignore them, they come and headbutt your camera when you're trying to do a reading. Just because I was ignoring him. Bedford, really? Do you have to? Yes, I do, Mummy. We don't want to see your bottom. Seriously, I don't want to get a YouTube strike because you stick your bottom in my cap. Never mind. Where are you going? You're going to sit there. Okay. Well, at least I don't have any candles on the table today, I suppose. That's that's a bonus. If you noticed, he turned the strength card upside down. So it could be that your strength is waning. Maybe this is somebody that you know you need to leave, but you can't bring yourself to walk away. Maybe it's just that difficulty. Maybe they make you feel inadequate. Maybe they make you feel weak. Maybe you feel like you can't live without them, but you actually can. Because there's certainly a feeling of being stuck here with the Hanged Man, stuck energy. But it is also about learning sacred lessons and things becoming sacred. Maybe there is a sacrifice to be made here. Maybe you have sacrificed your life staying with somebody that you have children with that isn't actually very good for you. You know, maybe you're the one that's already made the sacrifice. Don't knock that over, Bedford. I'll show you what he was threatening to knock over. It's actually an empty wine bottle that has water in it and a little rose from the garden. It's the first rose we've had this year, actually. The little miniature rose hasn't really been flowering until very recently. That was the first bloom we've had from it this year. So maybe it's a situation where it is difficult. Maybe you've given up a lot. Maybe they were your first. Maybe they were... good boy. Maybe this was your first love. Maybe you were each other's. Maybe you were, you know, high school sweetheart kind of situation. Or maybe you're still very young. Maybe you're together, but you're both still very young, and this is kind of like your first serious relationship. And there is this difficulty of leaving your first serious relationship or first marriage. It's always feels like a very, very, very big deal. And of course it is. Don't you bite me. Okay. He was going to bite me. He thought about it, then he licked me instead. And maybe that's it. Maybe you're thinking about divorcing this person and you know it's going to be difficult, or maybe you're worried about hurting them and you don't want to do that, but you must make a decision. You can't just stay in the unknowing. You have to make a decision sooner or later, because indecision, choosing to do nothing, is a decision in and of itself. It is choosing to stay. It is choosing to do nothing. It is choosing to accept the status quo. And that may not be something that's very good for you right now, but it is your choice. It is your privilege to make that choice, to make that decision. Yeah. I think there's fear here as well about making that choice, fear of judgment of others, but also fear of hurt, fear of making the wrong decision. Thank you, Bedford, Tinker. It's certainly not an easy situation, but the choice must be made. Let's move on to our next cards. That's kind of all I want to say there. Normally I'm been talking for a bit longer on this section and the other piles, but that's kind of all I want to say. I feel like we need to go to the next pack, so here we go. Backstabbing. Ooh, karmic relationship. Yeah, this could have been your karmic relationship. This could be someone, and you may have married them, but it could just be a karmic relationship, and by that I mean it's not a soulmate that you're supposed to be with for a long time, and maybe you've outstayed you know, your soul has kind of outstayed the amount of time that was intended for you two, and you kind of feel like you've stayed in this relationship for too long. Separation, not enough. Hammer, camera, death, and girl with a snake. Yeah, here we go. Feeling used. This relationship is over. And for some of you it is. For some of you it's not. You know, don't take that as an absolute message for everyone, because it's not. But certainly heartbreak and pain, resentment and triggers. I feel there's a lot of resentment here. Maybe you are separated from this person. Maybe you're considering the next step, which is possibly a, you know, permanent break from this person. I feel it's very important that if you do that, you make a very clean break from them. A very clean break, because I feel like they won't take kindly to you doing that. They will not be happy about it. And, you know, you may be looking at memories from the past with the camera here. You may have been trying to repair this. You know, you may have been in actual therapy with this person, in couples therapy, couples counselling, trying to fix it, trying to make things better. Bedford, what are you doing? He's climbing under his sister's bouncer. You're going to sit underneath the baby while she bounces, and she's probably going to kick you in the face. Okay, fair enough. That's an interesting choice. And it may feel like this person metaphorically has kicked you in the face. You know, maybe they've been physically violent with you as well. But yeah. You could be feeling used. You could be feeling like you haven't not had sufficient boundaries with this person, like you should have stood up for yourself and more, like you felt like you weren't good enough, and so you settled for this relationship, or you thought this person was really amazing, but it turned out that they weren't all that you thought they were. That's what I was saying at the beginning. There's certainly a sense of disappointment here. Sorry, I'm telling the cat off. It's like trying to manage the cat while I'm doing a reading and keeping an eye on the baby. It feels like I'm being pulled in a number of different directions. So maybe that's the thing for you. You feel like you're being pulled in a number of different directions, and you've got kids to look after, and you've got pets, and you've got to build a whole life with this person. So it's going to be very difficult to kind of extricate yourself from that, and what's it going to look like, and how are you going to do it? You know, all these questions, and it's difficult. It's a multifaceted thing. It's a multi-layered thing that you may be dealing with. Oh, he's lying down. Good boy. And it just makes everything so complicated when actually it's not. It can all be sorted out. It just may feel very overwhelming for you at the moment. And if that's the case for you, then, you know, you have my sympathy. You know, I want to send love and healing and angels to anyone in that situation. It's very, very tricky, very difficult. Get a couple more of these. Coffee cup, so meeting and talking, savouring the moment, feeling elevated and building friendship. So you could be meeting new people right now and actually making new friendships. Healing heart, here we go. Yeah. Healing heartbreak, toxicity or addiction, abusive relationship. So yeah, I feel like there is a need to heal from this situation. So it could be that maybe you need some therapy, maybe you need to talk to somebody, maybe a trusted friend, maybe you have met up with a friend recently to talk about it in confidence, because I feel like you don't really want everyone to know. Paradise, happiness and joy, playfulness, because it may look from the outside like everything's perfect, like you may have really pulled the wool over everyone's eyes and made them thought that everything was perfect, everything was fine, but it's actually just you holding everything together. And that's very, very difficult, very challenging, because then when things fall apart, people are shocked. And I've been in that situation when people were like, oh, but we thought you were the perfect couple. What happened? And I'm like, no, it was just all me. I did that. You thought that because I was holding it all together, because it was all me. They were doing very little other than draining my energy. So it could be a situation like that. Hello, Bedford. You're back again to create some mayhem. And this could be, with Bedford coming and going, this could be somebody that you've been on and off with as well. And again, people don't necessarily know that. You know, I feel like you're quite private about your affairs, about your personal matters. So it could well be that people have no idea that this has been very, very difficult being on and off, you know, possibly split up before and just kept it very quiet. Absolutely a difficult relationship. Let's get some love oracle cards here to get some advice for you, because I feel like I've got a very specific niche of people in this pile. Whereas the other one, I felt like I was pulling on lots of threads of energy. I feel like I've got some very specific ones here. So these messages are going to be very specific, and they may not be for everyone watching. So do, of course, feel free to hop over to pile 1 or pile 2 if this isn't sounding like yours. I mean, feel free to watch as well, because there may still be some messages here for you. And I'm looking at repeating number cycles, because I've just seen 22:33 on the clock. So 1 hour, 22 minutes and 33 seconds. So it's like 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So there is a progression there, but I feel like you may be seeing sequences of numbers right now. And certainly 22 is what we call the feet of the goddess. It's a very emotional number. It's a very feminine number. And it is about choices and decisions, but it's also... it can be an unstable energy, it can be difficult, but it's also the divine feminine standing in her own power. And then we have 33, which is the Christ consciousness, and is also number 3 twice, and 3 is, of course, the divine blueprint. So it's the divine blueprint. So it's the higher version of the divine blueprint, which is, of course, the God consciousness. It is about making your life sacred, about sacrifice, like we had with the Hanged Man card. But I feel like you have a higher sacred purpose, and I think you know that, which is probably why you're watching this reading. I think you're very intuitive yourself, and your person may not be, or they may not agree with that, and they may have made it difficult. But I feel like you have a higher spiritual purpose in this lifetime that you would like the opportunity to live out. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Well, kind of making my point there. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Yeah. And when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Yes, absolutely. So there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just a case of making a choice. And I feel like that's kind of what you need to do here. There is a need to make a decision. So let's get some final messages from your person. Then we're going to go to letter tiles, charms and zodiac signs. Okay, let's get some messages from your person. All right. I'm still dealing with some stuff. Yeah, I feel like they are. And I feel like maybe they take some of that out on you. I need you. Yeah, they really do. Like I was saying, it's you. You're everything in this situation. You keep the balance. You're the one that makes it viable. 40, the number of viability. I want to be with you all the time. Yeah, they may be a bit clingy, some of you. I don't know what to do. Yeah, they really don't know what to do to fix it. Or if they do, they don't want to do it. And it could be that you've told them over and over again, I need this from you, I need that from you, I need you to help me with this, I need you to take initiative, and they're just not doing it. Maybe you feel like you're a married single mother, if you know what I mean by that. Like you do all the work and they just show up. And your life would actually be easier without them there. I'm struggling with my feelings. I don't feel good enough for you. Well, they shouldn't, to be fair, because they're not. And they could actually take that out on you. They may actually be emotionally abusive. And I want to be your lover. So yeah, there's a lot of passion there. They definitely don't want to lose you. But there is this sense of them perhaps not being everything you need them to be. So there could be some choices and decisions to be made there. So let's get our zodiac signs. If Bedford will let me use the zodiac dice. He just gave me an interesting look because he likes the ribbons on these little bags. Okay, he also likes the zodiac dice, so hopefully he's not going to play with them. We have Sagittarius. I don't believe it. Every single reading I've had a double sign. Every single reading. So 2 Sagittarius, Scorpio and Libra. So we've got a little cluster here at the end of the year. So your birthdays could all coincide at the end of the year. So what's that? September, October, November, December kind of times. Interesting. So these could be in your big 3, or they could be influential in your chart, in your partner's chart, or in your synastry. So your big 3 is your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant. Now, let's get some letter tiles. Now, these could spell out names. They could give us initials, places, words, names that connect you, words that are relevant, like workplaces, other people around you. Let's have a look. We have D, E, A, N. Oh, Deanna. Dean. Dina. E. E. Lots of E's. Maybe you have a phone on the EE network. O. Eeyore. E. Another E. It's crazy. T. Maybe you live somewhere where you have to use DEET so you don't get eaten alive by mosquitoes. Okay, there's a blank tile, so that can be any letter. Another E. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. L. Another E. There's a lot of E's here. This is very interesting. Maybe somebody did a lot of E in the 90s. That's a very specific message. Another T. A W. We have an N. And that's fine, Bedford. You're not in the way at all. And another A. Anthony. Telstra. I'm getting connections to Australia here with Deet and Telstra. Definitely some connections there. Okay. Leona, Leo. Anna. We. None of it resonates, whether we're talking about wee or a Scottish connection. Tea and tea. So there's a golf connection. There's maybe somebody drinks tea. Maybe you drink a lot of tea. This is interesting. I'm going to recommend you screenshot that and have a look at it and see what jumps out for you personally. So here's our charms. Get that out from under Bedford's bum. That is a dolphin with a ball. Lovely connection to Florida Keys, I want to say. Maybe SeaWorld. Maybe Monkey Maya in Australia. Again, I'm going to Australia. I've got a turtle. Is there somewhere called Turtle Bay in Australia? Someone tell me in the comments. Anchor. I've got lots of water comments, connections here. And my baby's getting quite excited as well. Yeah. Ballet shoes, ballet slippers. There's a frog, so we've got an amphibian, more water. There's a unicorn. We have, oh look, we've got two of these. Two swallows. I think they're swallows. And my poor little baby's fussing a little bit, so I just picked her up. So maybe this is somebody who literally fusses and you have to solve all their problems. Like here she is, my producer. Big heart. So I think that you've got a big heart. A pair of glasses or sunglasses. Austin Powers maybe. Oh, there's a third bird. Oh, maybe there's a third person in this connection who's caused trouble. I don't want to say so much like a love triangle, because look, it's smaller than the other ones. So maybe there's a sibling or a mother-in-law or someone who's caused problems. We have a dinosaur. Maybe they're a bit backwards in their ways. Oh dear. Oh dear, maybe they do make a fuss and cry a lot. So after a quick pause to feed the baby, we're back to finish the charms. We have this bow. This always reminds me of Minnie Mouse for some reason. It looks like a Minnie Mouse bow, this one. Yeah, with these three birds here, it could be gossip as well. I wanted to say gossip. There's a T-Rex, and then we have a squirrel on a branch with a leaf. Then we have some extra letters. So we have letter W, letter P, and letter U. Okay, so add those into these over here to see if any of those resonate for you. I'm just looking at these cards out of the corner of my eye, and I'm looking at this, the couple with the snake, and it's kind of like an Adam and Eve energy, but there's also the snake energy, which, you know, in the biblical sense, the snake was the trickster, was the one that led them astray, but in other traditions, the snake is the kundalini. You know, it is our life force, our energy, and it can lead us to a lot of wisdom. So there's that. That's just one final message for you there. Okay, my pile 3. I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you some good information. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Send this video to a friend if you think it will resonate for them. Also have a look at my links down in the description. You'll find my website, angelwingsholistics.com. You'll also find a link to my Neal's Yard shop, where you can find some gorgeous aromatherapy products, which are absolutely lovely. Would very much appreciate it. If you could order your Neal's Yard stuff through me, I'll be very happy to be your rep. Okay, so you'll find my readings on my website as well. And you may particularly like my 2026 psychic predictions, if it's still 2026 when you're watching this. If it's not, then feel free to take a pass. Okay, so that's it. I'm knackered. I'm going to go and have a lie down. I have a newborn. I hope you're doing well. If you have kids, you get it. Until I see you next time, please take very, very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.